Good evening, and you are very welcome along
Hey.
to the latest episode of Saving Grace, A Garden of Lies. If you're joining us for the very first time, welcome to our little space here on the internet. We are D8 Dungeon, a group of TTRPGers, predominantly from Ireland, but with lots of friends and cool folks from around the world, who come together to tell stories, have a laugh, and uh, share them with you. My name is Declan, and I am that dungeon master that won't leave D8 Dungeon. I do lots, if not 90% of the streams and podcasts around these parts. But I've started to relinquish. If you are new and you haven't caught an episode of Saving Grace before, then I think it's important that we start with a bit of a content warning. Saving Grace is a gothic horror inspired series. We are running Dungeons and Dragons 5e into the ground in parentheses, but it is a D&D 5e game, and I do draw very heavily on horror themes, gore, violence, psychological and emotional manipulation, supernatural elements, and all sorts of things in between that. If that's not your jam, again, please leave the stream. There's plenty of other wonderful creators out there streaming right now. If that is your cup of tea, then great, stick around. I've ran session zeros with my table, and we always tend to check in ahead of heavier sessions. But that that all said and done, all of the episodes from season two, or actually all the episodes from season one and season two of Saving Grace, can be found over on our YouTube channel. So if you want to find out exactly what happened in the last couple of episodes and how our titular Grace Stormfield found herself on Craigfarnham Island, heading towards the Blackmoor estate, in the company of Shriet, Xander, and Byron. You can find all those episodes over on our YouTube channel. And so I'm not going to do a recap tonight because last week, the last session was a what's the word?
One shot?
A one, yeah, thank
Prologue.
you. A run shot prologue. Yeah, I needed those two words. I needed those two words.
Nice. Teamwork.
Yeah, it was a one-shot prologue delving into the history and past of the Blackmoor estate as sort of a warning, I guess, to the players as to what may be lurking on the grounds and within the walls of the Blackmoor mansion. So we're not doing a recap, but we do want to shout out some friend of ours, and I've asked Eilish to do just that.
Yeah, so we currently have some besties called Mystery Dice Goblin, and they are a UK based, I want to say, company who make lots of cool stuff for TTRPGs. They do dice and accessories and notebooks and all kinds of fun stuff that you need for not just D&D, other TTRPG stuff as well. And they kindly gave us a discount code that gets you 15% off. So when you get to the checkout, if you put D8, the letter D and the number 8 into your cart, it will give you 15% off. And then a portion of that comes back to us, and we will use it to keep making fun things on the internet. It pays for artists, it pays for music, all that kind of fun stuff. And yeah, that's Mystery Dice Goblin.
Awesome. As a purveyor of the mystery dice bags and a eternal DM around the D8 dungeon parts, I can say I can be bribed with mystery dice bags. So just as a heads up.
Do you get
Okay.
a full set in the bag?
You get a full set in the mystery dice bag. Yep.
And are they all are they all the same?
The one set, yeah.
Okay.
You just don't know what you're getting. It's so exciting.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a mystery.
No, it is.
It's a mystery. It's a mystery.
It's a mystery. It's an exciting mystery. I think we've done our content warning. We've did a nice little intro. Then I think we're gonna jump into this, and I'm really really excited.
We're all going to die.
Oh dear.
We're Ralph Wiggum.
So Grace, Xander, Shiet, and Byron. Grace in particular, a little heavy in the foot as you plod along the road behind Baldwin, who is he's rambled most of the way. The only part of the journey from where he found you at the crossroads to just at the edge of the estate grounds was when you crossed Fenlock Bridge. And when you think back to that moment, to that silence, you're not sure if it's just a lapse in memory. You crossed the bridge. He told you beforehand that it sort of this part of the island, in a storm centuries and centuries ago, it had fractured, and Fenlock Bridge had been built to reconnect it to the mainland. And you couldn't, for the life of you, hear the sounds of the waves below. A heavy fog seemed to almost blot your vision. You could hear the scuffing of boots in front of you, but you couldn't hear a breath. You could taste the tang of salt on the air. You could feel the cold sort of seeping into your bones. And you skirt around the hole in the bridge where part seems to have collapsed into the chasm below. The bridge could only have been about 40 feet long. But every step felt like you'd walked a mile. And the only thing that resounds or resonates within you when you think back to the bridge, and it is just behind you. I'm going to need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Starting off strong.
I hope. Wisdom saving throw.
Unnatural 20.
Oh, and
Oh,
that
nice.
20, bringing a total of 27.
17.
Ooh. Oh
Okay.
no. Wait, hold on.
Oh, I'm so wisdomist.
And then there's Grace.
Uh-oh.
Okay, it's not the worst, but it's still only a 9.
Okay, no, that's pretty bad.
Oh no. Fuck's sake.
For Byron, Xander, and Shiet, you manage to turn your head to look back at the bridge. You do, and you can just about make it out. In fact, though it is some way behind you, some way in the distance, you still see its frame. It looks, as you look at like kind of the walls and the pillars, it looks kind of like ribs. It looks like the spine. It looks skeletal in its structure. Grace, you go to turn your head as you see the others around you, kind of look over your shoulder, and you just hear the wailing of an infant child just screaming in your ears.
Whose child is that? Why are they out here?
Oh no.
Do we hear it as well?
Nope.
Okay.
Xander's kind of gonna go over to Grace and just kind of escort her on. You know, just kind of thinking back to the story that we've just been told. Best not to think about that too much.
But it's so hard not to. It's everywhere. It's almost all I can Here. But-
Just the wind.
Okay. Grace is definitely going to let themselves be lulled into a false sense of normality with that one. They're going to be like, okay, yeah, you're right. It must be the wound. I did lose quite a bit of blood, actually.
You did.
Okay, let's go.
Baldwin is kind of standing a little further up the road, and you see that kind of around him, he's kind of bounding, kind of foot from foot to foot, like kind of back and forth a little. Uh, 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 my lords, uh, milady, um, Blackmore estate, and he kind of just gestures behind him, again into the mist and the fog.
Thank you.
Can we see anything except for the mist and fog?
As you kind of catch up to him, as the four of you kind of reach him, you do see that he's standing something like on what's an off road. The kind of the harder cobbles, stone that you'd been kind of traversing the mud and the grass. Here there is no stone; it is a dirt track off the road, and he's gesturing kind of in, like, again, into the fog and the mist. But as you strain to kind of, what's he pointing at? Immediately, I say immediately, but about kind of maybe about 20 feet behind him, you do make out these tall black iron gates and this large fencing that seems to just encage the grounds. Beyond it, though, you can only kind of make out kind of a spire on the roof or the odd sort of smaller shuttered column. You're only kind of seeing kind of the tops or like a harsh outline that seems to just kind of, as the mist rolls past, where the cloud seems to have evaporated or sank, where the house is exposed.
Please lead the way.
Yes, of course. And he, you see him kind of head in towards the gates, and then there's just this kind of rattling sound. My lords, it would appear that the entranceway is fixed into the soil.
Xander will go up to inspect it.
You can clearly see, Xander, that like the gates, it's not that they've quite buckled, but they have sank. One has kind of twisted out, and they are, it is this, you can see kind of the black paint coating on the iron, like a lot of it has sort of fallen away, rotted away, or rusted away. You can see kind of the flecks of it. It gives the gates almost like a kind of a thorny look to them as you approach. Large sort of spiraling spikes of iron jut out angrily from the top of the gate, and there appears to be it looks like the face of like a child, or maybe even a cherub, sort of sculpted between the left and the right, kind of fixed in place. but you do see like the bottom of the gate seems to have sort of lodged into the earth. It's quite mucky and wet here.
Okay. Are the gates like? Is it like a stone wall attached to the gates, or is all of it wrought iron?
It's again, there are stone columns kind of every now and again, kind of every kind of maybe 8 feet. It's like iron, stone, iron, stone.
Okay. So, anyone got any ideas? We could, I guess, try and kick this down, pull it out. Anyone good at climbing?
Let me check.
Is there no one to welcome us?
Uh,
I think Baldwin was our welcome party.
Oh, well, Baldwin, how do we get in?
I don't see. And he looks over at the stone pillar on the right hand side. Like as you kind of ask him this, he turns. He kind of points up at a kind of a wooden kind of beam that kind of juts out. You see kind of a piece of rope rotting from it. I believe the bell was taken in for repairs, my lord. I don't believe we'd get the attention of any of the grounds staff from this far from the house.
Grace is going to step and say, I might be able to climb over.
Oh, heavens! A lady of your constitution and position, probably Master Harkfield. Maybe you could offer your
Hold on, do you want to go for it?
I don't believe I have the upper body strength.
Can I shift into a calm down, English. Into a crow, I guess, and fly to the other side of the gate. See if I can open it from that side.
Yeah, you can. You again, as your body contorts itself, and you feel kind of the muscles, the ligaments, sort of snap and stretch. The fiber is malleable in the way that most flesh is soft and squishy. There's almost a kind of an earthen clay feeling to your bones, Shuyet, as out of your back, your 2 sort of wings emerge as your arms sort of collapse into your chest cavity, and your body kind of furls into itself as feathers sprout. And with a beat of your wings, you sort of shoot up and over. Give me a investigation or perception check.
Okay. Let's see what's better.
Now, is that because I remember last time around we did this? Is that you're using a wild shape on this, not necessarily a?
Can I use my shifting, which comes with my species shape, or you can assume a more bestial appearance? This transformation lasts for 1 minute or until you die.
Yeah, I think the shift or transformation isn't necessarily.
It's a bonus action. So
let me have a. Yeah, but see, I think it's you take on an animal characteristic You don't necessarily shapeshift into.
I know what you mean. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So let me wild shapes then. I'll just
Yeah.
do that. Someone's pretty short rest. Actually, I'm on 1 hit point. Did we get a long rest between now?
Oh dear.
Nope.
Okay. Cool.
I will say with Grace having kind of collapsed and the time that you had kind of stopped to listen to Baldwin,
Yeah.
that we will say that you have taken a short rest.
Lovely.
7 energies. Okay. Cool. Perfect. So I've wild shaped. I'm on the other side.
Yeah, and you can now make a perception or investigation check.
Oh yes, I'm gonna do investigation. Sorry. Oh, sorry. No, I'm gonna do perception. Oof. 11 total.
You don't get anything more. Like you do see, it's not that the gates have become fixed. Like, they're not, they're not locked into place. But they have sank down into some of they've sank down into the earth here, about 2 or 3 feet down. It looks like, and they could be lifted out. But there's no way of physically opening the gates unless you dig around that space.
Is there anything we could use as leverage? Like, or is any of the? You said the gates were made of iron. Are any of the bars loose? Is there like tree limbs?
Again, give me a perception check, Byron.
How much space on like the stone pillar bits? How much space is on the top of them? Are they flat?
They are so most actually you see had some sort of stone figure, like in the oftentimes it's like a little ball or some kind of little kind of spike, like stone little spikes. But a lot have either been broken off, but there are kind of a quick scan. Xander, you do see a handful further down along that there is a flat space. You could climb up onto one.
Okay. Even if there's one with like the ball on top of it, Xander's gonna kind of make his way over to it, climb up it, and I would like to then tie my rope like around like the ball bit to then use as people can like almost like reverse abseil, like climb up it with the rope.
Okay. Yeah, give me an athletics check just to see if you can make it up.
I don't need to.
So yes, yeah, you don't. Byron, what did you get in your? Okay. No, like you're like it's strange. As you see Xander sort of move off, and that odd chap in the robes kind of turn into a raven and then fly over to the without saying anything to anybody, just doing it, while Grace is trying to calm and explain that they are quite capable of climbing over, much to Baldwin's protests. Through the bars, as you're looking for something that's loose, as you're looking for something you might be able to pry open or squeeze, you can see people on the grounds. You clearly see shapes moving.
Over there, I see Baldwin. Who are they?
I'm afraid. I must apologize, Master Harkfield. I don't. Oh, yes. Oh, I see. Oh, they've visited again.
This grounds is supposed to be secured.
No, Master Harkfield. The Blackmore family are known for their garden parties. I think that's Sir Vale and the children. Oh, my Lord Blackmore must be throwing a picnic soiree in the yard again. Uh, oh, you must taste Cook's strawberry shortbread, and and we've a plentiful supply of Visagian tea leaves.
Baldwin,
And
how are
he
we
starts.
supposed to
He's
get-
smiling.
we need to get in the gate to taste the shortbread.
But
Over here.
but also, Baldwin, I thought you said that we were bringing supplies to the manor. Surely they wouldn't need the supplies if they were well stocked for a garden tea party.
Please, please don't concern yourself with the Blackmore inventory, milady. I can only say that Sir Vale is a generous man, a kind man, for always bringing the best of things, the best foods and wines from his travels. So perhaps I missed him. I missed him while I was out on the marshes, and he has arrived. And you hear Xander call out, and you see that the young man is sort of perched on top of one of the stone pillars, rope tied off against the top, and the cement sort of, or a concrete ball. And then kind of hopping down the other side as you kind of gesture at the rope, you all see a way of climbing over.
Ladies first.
You don't know. Grace is Grace is just gonna kind of like stomp up as well as they can to the rope and just like grab it fairly easily and quite deftly work their way up and over.
Give me an athletics. Everyone climbing over by rope. Give me an athletics check with advantage.
Oh, come on.
That is a 26.
Grace, even with the kind of the exhaustion and the heaviness in your body, you are able to kind of hoist yourself up and over. It's not the first time you have climbed into the grounds of a lavish estate via the wall. Byron?
16.
Not as sure-footed. And Baldwin actually does have to sort of lean into you a little bit, like let you use you like him as sort of a stepping stone.
Straight in his head.
And he goes to pull on the rope, and like he doesn't seem to have the strength in his body to hoist himself over.
Oh.
I'll climb up again and like go to pull him up.
Give me only because you like, again the whole not needing to climb thing. You can give me an athletics check to pull him over.
Good thing that strength is my dump stat -1.
Can I help?
Not for 20.
Okay.
Okay.
He flips him over.
But we are going to say, Grace, it is that thing of you kind of even just through the bars, you're kind of hoisting it, and it's just like it's like lifting a cloth sack full of bones. Like there is no weight to this man. The clothes are wet, like they are. It's that warm damp that has sort of soaked into them, and it's just his body heat. And as you lift Grace, Xander, you sort of lean over and you sort of pull him up. And as the pair of you kind of land on the other side, he does kind of just dust himself off. I am most humbly, and he kind of bows at the two of you, grateful for your assistance.
My pleasure.
Baldwin, please don't. It's okay.
Again, give me an insight check. Anybody that's sort of taking in Baldwin.
Sure.
I shall do that.
Another natural 20 deck later.
Save
And
these
I
for
got-
the inevitable attacks later.
24. Yeah,
My
he's gonna
insight-
kill us.
My insight is -1, but I did roll in that 20, so 19.
Okay.
Killing it.
It's you both see his whole demeanor shifts. Like he was holding himself a little like almost ghoulish. Like he was trying to like as if the last of his energy, like he was holding his whole body up. As his feet set foot on the grounds, you see him kind of stiffen. And like when he bows, his whole upper half bows. It goes down. And the way, to be fair, both Grace Stormfield and Xander Vernicier would often see household servants do in the presence of guests and the owners. It is that sort of very almost right angle bow.
Ooh.
Whereas previously he'd been sort of struggling to kind of his frame he was hunched. Now he seems to have straightened out, unnaturally so.
Okay. Does he seem a bit more kind of like, I suppose, more mobile?
He sees his eyes kind of land on the four of you. And Shiet, are you still in crow form or are you?
Yeah, I think I'm going to stay in crow form for now. It seems safer. So,
Probably.
but he is with the others, just either perched nearby or flying around.
You are most welcome to the Blackmoor estate. May I escort you to the entranceway?
Yes, please.
And he again, just kind of a hand out in front of him, he kind of leads off before both hands just kind of cup themselves behind his back. Immediately, as you kind of all take that first step behind him, you sink about ankle deep into the muck. The grounds are soaked. It's like walking on sponge, and you're sinking into it, and the smell is horrific. Every time you lift and that suction of air pulls on your boot, fills the inside, the water squelches, and it is freezing cold. There is just this horrific smell of rotting mud. Just that stink of stagnant water mixed with something else, something utterly foul lingers in your nose, every step releasing sort of a gaseous bubble up into the air. And I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw.
Fair. 17.
What's my con?
8.
16.
19.
Crows are known for their constitution.
Take 7 poison damage.
All right, I'm down.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So you're out of so you're not, because is it like, are you going off of your? So when you wild shape, you take on
revert
that
back
animal's
to-
stats.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah.
You have your little crow HP. Crows are known for their HP.
Beefy boys, big beefy birds. So they're
Shoot. Let me try to find some
So
stats.
hang on, I gotcha.
Shred our healer.
Yep.
Sure. I have 22. Okay.
Okay.
That was actually more than I expected.
Yes.
So yeah, you lose 8, and you are poisoned.
Wait,
so
this is homebrewed. Blitz.
no, we'll take the 22. It's fine. It's the kind of
Yeah.
we'll throw in all the fact that you are level 5. So we'll say it'll be fine. Yeah, the smell, as you inhale Shuyet, it courses through your body faster. Given your size, given your constitution, it does, and you feel your body weaken with it.
Okay.
Would Byron have blueprints of the house?
What's in your inventory?
Blueprints
Nothing.
for the house.
Yeah, look, they're right here. But like, as the person handling the handover or whatever, would it be safe to say that he would have
You
something?
do not have a copy of the estate maps on your.
Sake. Okay.
As the four of you trudge behind, everybody give me, what's everyone's passive perception? Start there first.
14.
17.
21.
Ooh, 12.
Oh, sorry, it's 14 as the crow.
Okay. So, Shuyet, Grace, and Xander. The three of you sort of lose your way in the fog.
Oh no.
Xander, you said yours was 14?
Yes.
Okay, yes, same as Shuyet. The pair of you actually, it's that thing of Xander, you sort of turn around, and then you all like Shuyet almost sort of collides into you, or like this crow almost kind of crashes into you. And but for the fact that you had seen the gentleman sort of become this, it would have been like as if just a bird had just kind of flown into your face. And you both kind of catch each other's eye, and it's that sort of knowing kind of glance. And then a small leather ball rolls across the ground and hits you in the back of the boot, Xander.
I will turn and pick it up and just kind of, throw it and catch it a couple of times, looking around to kind of see who it came from.
You hear footsteps running towards you. The fog doesn't lift.
I kind of instinctually rest my hand on like the hilt of my sword, and just kind of turn to Shuyet, kind of flying near me. So as the crow flies, is meant to be kind of a better perspective. Did you see anything?
Can I?
You can give me a perception check.
Just check my perception here.
I'd like to roll the ball back in the direction it came from.
Okay. I don't know if athletics has ever been used to play ball in D&D 5e before, but we're about to.
17 there for the perception.
You've it's strange. Like you've only kind of just walked into the grounds, and you had kind of followed behind the group, but you'd only taken a couple of steps inwards, and the house did seem to be some way away from the main road. But earlier when Baldwin and Byron were talking about the lawn picnic and the family that were outside playing, you seem to have traversed that far into the grounds, and you stumble onto you can see these really like decorative hedgerows, about hip high, about maybe 3 feet, 3.5 feet tall, pruned immaculately, sort of cutting through the grass here in these sort of wonderful sort of straight lines and then swirling curves. And Xander, as you roll the ball out, you hear it thud against something. and two small children have kind of stopped just a couple of feet in front of you. They're both half elves.
I'd like to call at the children.
I will kind of crouch down to their sort of eye level. Is that your bowl?
In unison. Yes.
Mm.
Are
Do
you?
these children look corporeal?
Yeah. They're
Okay.
both dressed. They're both dressed in really well-made clothes, and it's that sort of sandy brown hair, sort of sallow complexion, set against the boy has sort of hazelnut eyes. His sister, this sort of deep forest green. And they are kind of just staring up at, even as you crouch down, they are kind of staring kind of up a little at you, Xander.
Okay.
Are you looking for father?
I guess so. Is he nearby?
He's with the servants. They have a surprise.
Do you know what it is?
And the boy kind of just points to Juliet. Is he yours?
Yes. Isn't he nice?
Mother always said one brings sorrow.
Oh, well, this one's very happy. Believe me.
And the little girl just sort of whispers into his ear.
Can I overhear it?
She just says, you can just kind of make out, Father said not to talk to strangers. He'll be cross.
Sure. I'm sorry for interrupting your ball game.
Do you want to play with us? Oh, please. Oh, please. Father is so busy preparing, and it's so... Liza isn't the best.
Oh, I'm sure she isn't that bad.
And like she pinches like kind of like the fat on his chin, like his jaw.
Right, one throw. And then you need to get back to the party so you don't miss the surprise.
Okay. And he runs into he runs a little off ahead, and you can just kind of about as he runs into the fog, he runs past kind of a couple of these small little hedgerows, and you can just about make out his silhouette, Xander.
I'm going to send a message mentally to Chouette. Try not to let these kids out of your sight. I have no idea what they are.
Can I talk or communicate as a...
I think you can respond to this message.
Oh, right, okay.
Yes, because it's telepathic.
Are they special?
I think they could be ghosts.
Oh. Is that useful to us?
No. Probably not. Potentially dangerous,
Oh,
but potentially useful. Who knows? We'll see.
okay.
Just be on guard.
Yep, so she is going to kind of stay cautiously behind them, but follow them.
Okay, you're gonna fly after the kids. Okay. Give me an athletics check, please. Xander.
Athletics, great. Not good at playing ball. 7.
You
Hit yourself.
you throw the ball, but it's that sort of you don't quite get the strength behind it, and it kind of goes and you catch a hedgerow and it kind of bounces, and then you see it sort of vanish into the hedgerow. You no longer see Juliet, and you can't see the kids.
Fantastic. He will kind of survey his like immediate surroundings and light a cigarette and wait to see if anyone appears.
You take the cigarette box from the bag on your side, and finding a little matchstick to light it, you take a breath of the smoke into your lungs. And as you draw on the cigarette and it kind of illuminates around you, you see yourself completely surrounded by shadows.
Cool.
Shuyet,
Yeah.
give me a perception check.
Yeah, +4. Oh, 22. 18 +4.
It's that there's sort of, as the kids run, you sort of just shoot forward, gliding. You're not necessarily trying to race the kids, but it's that sort of to kind of keep up with them. And you watch as they sort of run between the hedgerows and they're laughing.
Mhm.
You hear something thud behind you, and as you sort of look over your shoulder, you just see Shuyet vanish into the fog, and then you hear the children laughing.
Xander vanish, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, Xander has vanished.
Yeah.
And then turning kind of back in front of you to where the kids were, you can just hear them sort of laughing, and it's all around you.
The kids laughing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Arguably worse than shadows.
You got a 7. You got a, what was your perception check? Sorry.
22, so 18 for you.
As you sort of swoop, the laughter, for a moment, it is that thing of like it's everywhere, and like how can the kids be everywhere? But you seem to have sort of flown into a small walled garden. The laughter kind of bouncing off the walls. You see a mound of mud sort of thrown against a wall, and something in it catches your eye.
Can I go investigate?
Landing and sort of bounding towards it. Then I'm going to make you roll for this with the 22. It looks like a mountain of like I said, muck. It was sort of just dumped, maybe fertilizer, or maybe they were digging up the soil, but it is just this heaping mass of rotting material. It smells like a dung heap. It smells like waste. It smells like rotting earth. But sort of half caught in it, and just some pages loosely flapping in a breeze. You clearly see something like a notebook or a journal poking out.
Can I grab it with my...
You can give me an athletics check to try and pull it free.
These stats don't have athletics, but can I just use my characters?
No, you have to use the animals, so that's just a straight up strength roll then.
Okay, yeah, perfect. -2. Cool.
Yeah, you keep your mental stats, but you use the animal's physical stats.
Yeah.
18 -2 is 16.
Okay. Enough, but now I need you to give me a dex saving throw.
Okay.
Oh, no.
3. 10, 3 is 13.
Okay. Not enough. So here's what we're gonna do. You have snagged the journal. So your claws are on it. You see something move within the mound. Something is moving within it. As you pull the journal free, you seem to have woken something.
Okay.
just in that moment, as you go to pull it free, you just see these broken teeth just sort of like snap out at you. I will let you. You can, so you have two options. You can take the damage and pull the journal, or you can take half damage, but you're not going to get all the journal.
Oh, Schmidt loves journals.
Fucking loves the journal. I don't know what the damage is. I'll take the full damage.
I need you to take 11 slashing damage.
Okay. Can I do something now? Can I take a starry form?
As a reaction, is it?
It's a bonus action.
Oh, so we're not technically in combat.
Can I still do
So yeah, you can.
it? Cool. So I'm now kind of this starry, humanoid-shaped, floaty, mystical thing.
What the hell are you?
So I have to have taken wild shape before I could take on the starry form. So
You had to have been in a wild shape to do this, is it?
yes, yeah.
Okay. It is that thing, Shiat, as your talons dig into, and it's a leather, like you can feel it. And it's quite a heavy journal. As you pull free and these cracked teeth just sort of snap out of the mound, it snags on your right wing and you feel the bones crush. You feel the pain, every nerve and synapse firing off through you. And instantly your body recoils and you shift. And where there was form and bone and muscle and tissue, now there is just this ethereal star-like form, holding in its left hand the heavy, wet journal. And you clearly see on the front of it property of Byron Harkfield.
A what?
It's your map.
How rude.
Grace.
Sorry, can I, just before we do that, my starry form, I'm just going to choose the chalice, which gives
Okay.
me 1d8 plus wisdom of hit points.
Okay.
Nice. Phew.
So let me just roll that really quick. Oh, 2, cool. Plus wisdom is 7, so 9. I'm just going to regain them.
Wisdom's boy.
Yeah, you stare down at the journal, Shiet, and like you do feel kind of energy sort of, you're pulling on the little light around you. And as you look down, you see the mound has stopped moving. It's what you thought was mud and muck, you think looked to be like remains.
Ew.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the heck out of there, and try find the others with the journal, or try find Byron. Actually, I'm probably gonna read a lot of it before, so I'm gonna slowly walk while reading.
Okay, so are you? Can I ask you a question then? Just kind of like above the table in what I think is kind of a good character moment. Now that Byron has this, now that she has this, is it a is this a case of you are more focused on reading this, or is it I'm searching for the others and I will take a cursory glance?
I want to skim it to see kind of what's in it. Like, is it kind of like a day-to-day, today I bought eggs, kind of thing? Or is there something in here that I need to dig deeper into?
Okay,
and then that will decide that decision.
So a lot of all I'm giving you at this point is a lot of the journal seems to have been destroyed. Like a lot of the like from whatever had taken this.
Yeah.
A lot of the pages do seem to be sort of ruined, like they're stained. The ink has run on them. You do make out a couple of pages where you can see details, but that's sort of skimming through it. Large chunks of the journal there's nothing.
Okay.
So it's going to be one of those things where you're going to have to either kind of focus on maybe peeling a page apart to see if it stays in one piece,
Mhm.
or
I'll focus and read the journal.
okay. So that's where your attention goes.
Mhm.
Not so much on finding the others. So
You know my poetry.
I'm going to DM you 4 journal entries.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're just gonna casually write 4 journal entries.
Nope, I have them. That's all
Dear
done.
diary.
Mood apathetic.
So I think when we take a break, I might just send them to you then, rather than just, I'd like to concentrate on kind of what's in front of us.
Yeah.
Dahi sent a boring rules lawyer.
I think I used my thing wrong. So is it about that?
I think you need to
Yeah.
cast
Yeah.
a level spell that heals to get the chalice benefit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
if
think
you-
I'll do
yeah.
that.
um
So where is it?
okay. Just Emma, while you're doing that, I might switch over to Grace.
I'll just cast it in the background. Okay.
Yep. Instead of just shoot in the background, they're just casting magic. You turn around, Grace, and you don't see Xander or Shuet. You turn back, and Byron and Baldwin, the servant from the grounds, have also sort of been swallowed up by the fog.
Oh no. Oof. Okay, I'm going to try and squint real hard into the fog because I really don't want to start making sounds. Oh, what can I see? Is it just like fog, or am I seeing any shapes or?
So with your passive perception is 12. You're not seeing anything. Yeah, you can barely sort of see. Like if you put your hand up in front of your face, you can barely see it. So I'm going to need you to. If you're sort of straining past that to see if you can make anything out, I am going to need you to make a perception check.
Okay, I will do that. Never mind. That was only a 10.
There's something in the distance. You can it looks, you can kind of see like an archway. Just a little in the distance. You can just see it sort of fixed against the fog. And underneath it, you see someone. And they're walking towards you.
Who is that? Less scared.
Grace is cool as a cucumber.
yeah, a cucumber shit in the pants. Who goes there?
There's no response.
Are they still walking towards me?
You can clearly hear the sounds of like something scraping against stone, like gravel. You can hear footsteps, and you hear something scraping against the gravel.
I'm gonna draw my weapons.
Classic Grace.
They still continue towards you.
Please announce yourself. Announce yourself, please.
You just hear the crunch of gravel underfoot.
Oh, god damn it. Fuck. I'm going to call out to. Actually, I'm going to cast protection from good and evil on myself.
Smart.
Solid choice.
This figure draws closer, and it looks to be roughly around the same height as you, maybe a little shorter. And what you hear dragging, you don't see many details, but something is trailing behind them a little bit. It almost looks like the end of the trail of a dress or a gown. And you do see the form now has just this silhouette. And only when they're about 4 feet, 5 feet away from you, Grace, can you start to see skin, details, face, their eyes. It's a young woman wearing a long, heavy, dark green dress. Good afternoon. I'm so sorry. I seem to have gotten lost.
That is no problem. I have found myself in a very similar predicament. Are you a resident of the manor?
She's human, Grace, now that she's standing in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And you see this sort of sickly white, pale skin. That flushes red. Like you see her face sort of flush a little as you ask that question.
Okay.
I do apologize. I haven't gotten all of the staff's names. We've barely been introduced. I'm Lady Blackmore.
First or the second?
Did you just call me the help? Grace is just going to I am not one of your staff, my lady.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just assumed by
By my appearance, my dress.
by your dress. And like you do clearly see absolute embarrassment on her. Yeah, you must obviously be a guest of my husband's.
Yes.
You're
I am a guest. I got separated from the rest of my companions and you found me first.
and I can't even find the house, not in this fog.
And is this fog a common occurrence, my lady?
My husband has said that yes, there is a tendency, given our proximity to the sea and the marshes. Heavens, I thought I had been told. Perhaps it's just a giddy prank that the staff are playing. I couldn't possibly. There's supposed to be a bell if we ring it, maybe one of the servants will come and fetch us.
Oh, when we were making our way on, well, I suppose into the estate, we were told that the bell had been taken for repairs or cleaning or something of that likes by Baldwin.
And you see her; she kind of looks a little confused.
Ooh, that shady fuck I knew. He's quite a petite, gentle man. Skin and bones, a bit hunched over on himself. Very, very much a stickler for the title of, ladies and all of that.
As I said,
But you're not
I-
familiar with all the staff's names.
but there is, and she gestures kind of, and then she minds herself. A lady doesn't gesticulate, and the lesson kind of comes back to her, and she sort of turns her frame. It is just a little out of my reach, but maybe you and I could. At the archway towards the house, there's a small bell that could summon a footman.
Okay, I'd like to see if I can vibe check that suggestion, see if it's genuine and also just her general.
Yep.
Of it all. Insight?
Yep, please.
I'm just kind of thinking, none of us relayed the story that Baldwin told us to Grace, did we? Oopsies.
I was also thinking this, and I was like,
Oh.
run away.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was a 19.
You're not sure. Like, she doesn't seem to be, like, she does seem like there would be a bell, like, and if the arch is kind of between the house and the main gate, maybe it would be for like summoning a footman, or maybe someone from the stables, or just announcing the arrivals to the house. But there's something not right, Grace. Something at the back of your mind about her.
I'm going to do something a bit reckless. And as we turn kind of towards the arch, I'm going to kind of put my forearm out for her to see if she will put her hand on me or hesitate, because I have cast protection from good and evil. So we'll see what that does.
You smart.
I have my moments.
As you kind of turn to face her, and I think, like, kind of like getting a sense of where she's kind of pointing at. You see her sort of kind of take you in as well. Like, she seems to be sort of getting a read of you too. This strange woman on the grounds, and then as she sees you sort of extend your arm, she sort of relaxes and she takes your hand. I know you're here to visit my husband, but perhaps you and I could be friends. I scarcely know anybody on the island.
Do you not venture out of the state? Are you cooped up here all the time?
I'm just new, and I haven't had a chance to introduce myself properly, and it's all been such a whirlwind, Grace.
Huh. I didn't tell you my name.
Strange.
I'm going to jump back.
I don't know how I know your name. I don't know you.
No, you don't.
I slipped up. And you just see a smile crack across her face as the
Nope.
porcelain white skin just rips, and like a serpent boiled out of its peeling layer of skin, you see it sort of slip and rot off of her. And there is just this woman standing there, this shade, this specter, this nightmare staring at you.
Lovely.
Grace.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you think you'll find what you're looking for here, Grace?
Truth be told, I have no clue.
I have all of the answers that you need. Who you are, what you are. Grace Stormfield. And she just starts to slip back into the fog.
I am going to let her.
Good choice.
Because
Rabbit.
because the last time I tried to follow some shady ass lady about answers, we know where that landed me. So
Is this a different
Fair.
shady lady or the same one?
Different.
I don't
TBD,
I don't
actually.
trust any of them. I'm sorry. She tainted them all for me. No one is trustworthy.
What's important is we learn from our mistakes.
Do we?
I'm trying.
As you watch her just sort of vanish, you find yourself standing under an archway, Grace, and just a little in the distance, you turn around and not turn around. They turn around. You see Byron and Baldwin.
Byron?
Yes.
Is that actually you?
Well, who else would it be?
This fog is quite disorientating. Grace is going to still I still haven't put away my weapons. like very casually, I'm gonna put them away and like just kind of like inch closer, and I'm like staring Byron in the face, like, and looking up and down to be like, is this person real or um uh tell me some actually no, that's not a good test.
We barely know each other.
Emma, I've sent you those journal entries, by the way, as well.
Right.
Discord.
What did we have to eat in the tavern?
Slop. I mean stew, wasn't it? I can't remember.
Okay, it kind of worked. It was kind of both. Okay, I think
It was a
based on
meatloaf, wasn't it?
oh no, it's a
In
weird
a
like
in
a
a
stewy
thick
thingy.
gravy.
Yeah,
But Byron did pretty much call it slop.
yes. I think based on that, I'm going to be like, oh, okay, and I'm going to like just kind of like poke him in the shoulder.
Ow!
Okay, it's fine. Baldwin, question for you. Could you describe the lady of the manor of the state, please?
Of which is state?
Is there not a lady of Blackmore Estate?
Well, the master did have um, many would-be suitors. Proust, Master Proust did have many sent invitations to wed, but the Lord did not accept any.
Oh, okay. And none of these suitors ever visited the estate or spent some time here?
Many may have when they were younger, perhaps at a formal introduction. But to the best of my my memory, I do not believe that any had called upon the Lord. Not in the last 30 years, at least.
Okay.
Do we
Thank
hear
you.
this? Well, do I hear this?
Yeah, you represent them. Yeah.
Is the lady in the bog not Proust's wife?
Oh heavens, no, no. Proust would have been the great, great, great grandchild.
Ah, you're right. You're right.
What lady in the
Uh,
pub?
Oh, it's a story for another time when we're in less spooky surroundings.
I think that story might be quite pertinent now because I had my own little spooky something happen while I was separated from everybody else.
Master Hartfield, if I couldn't trouble you to just step to one side.
Certainly. Looks
And
around confused.
you were standing directly under the bell.
Oh.
And as you and Grace are kind of, I don't know how much you want to tell her or like where you're going with the story that Baldwin had told you, Xander and Juliet. He reaches up and you, just above your head, there is a kind of a well-worn, rusty-looking bell. And he takes a damp rope and he just kind of knocks it 3 times. And you just all of you, Juliet, Xander, Grace, and Byron, you hear just this ringing of a bell just reverberate around the grounds. And Xander, the shadows, the forms that surrounded you, all turn eastwards. and just sort of drift towards the ringing of the bell.
Oh no. Oh no.
Moral of the story: if a lady asks you if you like her baby, say yes.
If I like a baby?
Underfoot, the ground begins to tremble, and Grace, Xander, and Byron, you feel just that sort of that water, that sinking feeling, rise a little, and where you had been sort of trudging through muck and wet to your ankle, you're now just sort of just kind of mid calf. You see, it's the ground seems to sort of have surged up. That just this dead water just seems to have sort of been squeezed out of the ground, and underfoot, you start to feel something squirming, something scratching, and Xander, in the distance, you just see an archway, like a small little hut, part of the roof having fallen in, and you just see something large sort of rip itself out of the ground, and what looked to be very clearly an arm fall off of it as it takes form and lifts and tear itself out of the ground.
I'd like to
And I
unsheath my
need
sword.
everybody to make initiative rolls except
Yeah.
Chouette.
Okay.
Too busy reading.
I'm a
Fucking nerd.
As a zombie clot appears between the group. And that's where we'll take our quick break.
God damn.
Ew.
A zombie clot.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
nasty.
All right. Are we good to go?
Yeah, we're good to go. Yep.
All right. See you
We're
guys.
back in about 10
Bye.
minutes.
Bye.
That was 5. I was also going to start googling zombie clot.
I just wanted to see what they look like. They kind of look like
I
they're
regret
crocheted
googling.
or something.
Yeah,
It
no,
looks like a graveler.
it looks
Hmm.
like the, when you get like fried rice and the eggy bit.
Mm, mhm.
The
That's
eggy bit. Well, that's ruined for me forever.
I don't eat fried rice, but
Yeah,
I-
okay, rub it in. I'm sticking with
Yeah.
graveler.
okay. Ooh, it's like a weird eggy graveler.
Yum.
Squidgy.
We rolled for initiative just during the break. So straight up, it's our zombie clot, and it does it, for Grace and Byron Baldwin. You just hear like it does. It literally it sounds like a wet tree trunk has been ripped open. It sounds like the mashing of flesh as you just see this heaving mound just sort of like a pustule erupt out of the ground, and then immediately this large hand-like lump from its torso just slams down on top of the hut, and you hear the bell ring, Byron, as you and Baldwin are sort of shoved forward, and I need Grace and Byron to make Dex saving throws. Baldwin's going to do his. No, he's failed.
Baldwin.
And
Get it together, Baldwin.
Baldwin's down.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Like just he fell over, or
I'm imagining him just kind of like tilting just like that.
Yeah, that man didn't have much life left in him. To be fair.
I got a 14.
I got a
you-
16.
Okay, so 16 passes, 14 fails. So Grace take 6 bludgeoning damage.
Ooh,
Me?
okay.
Byron 12.
Oh, god damn it.
The entire hut and archway just comes crashing down on top of the three of you standing underneath it. Grace, you throw yourself out of the way just in time, taking a couple of knocks from falling debris. Byron, you're all but sort of buried underneath it, but for the fact that Baldwin has taken the brunt of it, and
Oh,
you
Baldy.
just hear him gasp as you hear the building crash down around the pair of you, and you hear him, Byron, call out 3 names: Matron Hester, Dr. Hargrave, and Ophelia. And he looks up into the mound, and you just see the wall fall down on top of you. There is a sickening crunch where Baldwin stood.
Oh, R.I.P. Baldy.
Rest in
Xander,
pieces.
it's your
Hello.
action. You've just, from your perspective, you've just seen this whole thing sort of fall on top of the archway.
Okay. How far away is it from me?
About 40 feet.
Okay. I am going to use a bonus action, steady aim, to. I'm going to kind of like get so I'm kind of behind as much cover as I can get. I want to use steady aim as a bonus action to give myself advantage on my next attack roll in the current turn.
Okay.
Oh, you can use this bonus action only if you haven't moved during this turn.
Okay.
I guess.
Haven't moved.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I want to fire my short bow at it.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Ooh, okay, that's 15 plus 6, 21 to hit.
21 hits.
And because I had advantage, I get sneak attack damage. I have not played a rogue in so long. So that's 3d6 plus 3. Okay. Ugh, that's a 1 and a 2 and a 6. So 9 plus 3, that's 12 damage.
Okay. It's that thing of instantly, and you heard the ringing of the bell. You don't know why, but Xander, you immediately no, you do. It's that instinct that kicks in. This is clearly a monster, and it must be destroyed. This is what you do, and you draw your short bow. You take a breath. You fix your stance. You release the breath as you pull the arrow back, and you let it loose. It cuts through the fog, and there is just that sweet whistle as it wisps through, and you just see the arrow plunge into the back, and it's absorbed. You've used your bonus action. You've used your action. It is Grace.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's about 15 feet from you. The building, the archway collapsed entirely, bar like half a column on the other side.
Okay. Can I see any of the others? Like, can I see?
You can just kind of
Byron?
see Byron kind of like on his hands and knees.
Okay. Okay. But I'm going to rush to Byron, and like literally hoof him up and say, you can't just stand there. That thing will destroy you. We need to get moving.
Okay.
Grace is going to kind of push Byron behind them, and I'm going to try and attack with my scimitars. Da-da-da-da-da. Let's go for it. Okay, so that is a 19 to hit.
19 hits.
Deadly. Bear with me a sec.
Okay, just for everybody, always roll the damage anyway. Just
Yeah.
if hits or not, just throw them anyway. We'll see what happens. It'll keep the combat moving.
Okay, so that's a 9.
9 damage in total. Yep.
Yes.
Bonus action.
Bonus action. I'm not going to use that.
Grace, sort of like hauling Byron up onto his feet and then just shoving him behind yourself. You kind of lunge over, jumping over some of the debris. You do see blood pooling underneath it.
Okay.
If Baldwin, if that's what you think it is, Baldwin's dead underneath it. And without giving yourself another second to even think about it, you leap at it, slash out with the scimitar, and where you do, like into what you think might be its leg, and this thing is huge.
Mhm.
It is about 45 feet tall. You slash into its leg, and you just see reflexively a humanoid shape of a young man hold his hands up defensively, and you just see him almost mouth, "Please don't," as you hack into him. And blood just gushes out, and the form falls away. Byron.
Oof. Okay. I'm going to throw an ice knife. Never mind. Well, 12.
Meets it, beats it.
Oh, sweet.
Oh,
Okay. And then I get an extra. Sorry, I said I'm going to do it at 3rd level.
Okay.
So I get an extra 2d6. So that's 16 ice damage.
Okay.
Piercing damage.
Now, there's a... it now also has to make a dex saving throw.
Mhm.
And so does Grace.
Oh.
Creatures within 5 feet of it.
Sorry. I didn't read that far.
After I just saved your ass. Oh my god.
My bad.
And you cast it at what level?
3rd.
So that'll be...
Wow.
You can roll 4d6 damage. This is cold damage. What's your spell save DC?
rest in pieces, Grace.
14.
Okay. It failed anyway.
Okay, it's not so bad. It's just an 11.
11 cold damage. And what did you do on the first one? Sorry, 9?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Grace, dex saving throw.
I got a 12.
Okay, you fail as well, so you take the full 11 cold damage.
Sorry.
It is just overhead. You just, Grace, you actually feel the sweat on your back and the wet in your clothes freeze and harden as just the air gets even colder around you. and just overhead into its torso, you just see this blade of ice just dig in, and you see it. You see hands reaching out of the body, pulling on the knife, pulling on and drawing it further in. It explodes. Hands are reduced to just bloodied slush, and splinters of the knife explode downwards on top of you, and there's this blast of cold energy, and your whole body goes numb from the frost damage.
I'm so sorry.
Bonus actions, Byron.
No.
No.
I don't think
Okay.
I'm in.
It is the Clot's turn. It's going to take a swing down at you. No, it's not.
No.
It's going to lean over you, Grace. And as it does, you just see like where its neck and jaw would kind of meet, just this large boil of writhing flesh just sort of begins to swell,
Oh no.
and it just the clump falls off of it. Give me a strength saving throw, DC 16.
Oh,
It gave birth.
oh my god.
That was vile.
This is so shit. Oh my god. What was that? Sorry, that was a strength
16.
saving throw. That is a 19.
Okay. You throw yourself out of the way just as you see that blob open. Like it actually, like the mass of people inside seem to just wriggle out of each other's grasps and come down to grab you. The mound hits the ground in front of you, and it just explodes. Like they, like a water drop, or like a blob of paint hitting the floor. It just explodes outwards, and you are now you throw yourself into the muck, and you almost get a mouthful of this water as you sort of pull yourself up onto your feet. And it is Xander, your action. Xander, you can see something moving around it. You hear Byron calling out sorry, and you just saw the shape sort of contort itself and swell like a balloon.
Okay. Hearing Byron apologize, that doesn't fill Xander with a lot of confidence, so he's not going to get any closer. He's just going to kind of like replant his feet in the ground and draw his bow again. I'm going to again use steady aim. I think I can just use that if I don't move. Give myself advantage. Oh shit! It fell. That wasn't that great. 16.
No, that hits.
Cool. Sneak attack. Okay, so that's a 10 plus 3, 13.
Okay. It's all the same. Like it doesn't seem to have noticed you. It doesn't seem to have reacted or responded to you. Whatever is in front of it, it seems to be fixated. And Xander, you draw another arrow, pull back and let it loose. Grace, as you sort of look up, you just see an arrow sort of thud into the side of a young woman's head. And it falls listless.
Sorry.
And where you saw her form taking shape, like you just see the hollows of her eyes as she sort of sinks back into the flesh, and the arrow is pulled with it. That's actually Grace. It's your action.
Okay. I am going to attack again.
The zombie clot, right?
Yeah. See, I, unlike some people, do not friendly fire.
It was friendly ice.
So we learned today. We read the entire spell.
Absolutely. So that is a 17 to hit.
Hits.
And that is a 7 for damage.
Okay. And any bonus actions?
Yes, bonus action. I am going to use my second wind, since you did say we had taken a short rest.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use that. Let me just roll for what I regain, because I am in dire needs.
so sorry.
Okay, that's not bad. Okay, so that is a 12. I gain 12
12
HP
HP.
back. And then I'm going to use my extra attack.
Okay. You could make 2 attacks on your turn.
Yeah, from 5th
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, probably not gonna do another attack then. So that was only a 9 to hit.
Yeah, 9 won't hit. It is in that moment, Grace, like as you kind of turn up and you see that that shape, that woman's body kind of just be absorbed back into the mound. You kind of punch the wet earth, shove yourself up. You feel just sort of an energy. You're pulling it from deep within you, course through you as adrenaline kind of courses through your system, and it's that coldness. It doesn't go away. It's just sort of you pack it down. And as you shoot a glance at Byron, who is sort of holding their hands up sort of defensively at you and at the clot, or at this creature, you just lunge forward. And before this thing even takes form, before this thing even reacts, you just jam your blade right back into that stump that is its leg. And you bury it almost to the hilt, jagging it around violently. Pulling it free, you go in again, but in that last moment, you have to sort of half turn as it sort of swooshes down towards you, almost to try and sweep you up. You're able to just narrowly avoid it. Byron.
I'm gonna cast Summon Beast.
Does it attack friendly?
No, I specifically read.
Just had a check.
You call for the bestial spirit. It manifests in an unoccupied space. So I wanted to manifest beside the thing, but within 5 feet of Grace, because then it gets a pack tactics advantage.
Okay.
Like that.
I'm gonna summon a deer or like a stag.
Okay.
I think summoning it is 1 action, so I can't attack until my next action.
Okay. Any bonus actions?
I don't got snip.
And does it go right after you?
Doesn't say.
So what was the spell? Summon Beast?
Yeah.
When you cast a spell, the creature resembles the creature's an ally to you and your companions. In combat, the creature shares your initiative count, but it takes its turn immediately after yours.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
So then I'm gonna use Maul.
Yeah.
And it's a 13.
13 hits.
Yeah. And then the D8 of damage is 6 plus 4 is 10.
And the spell's level?
How do I know what the spell's level is? Oh, 3.
Okay, so 17 damage.
Yeah.
Okay. It does, like, Grace, like, as you sort of half step out of the way and you see that, like, that trunk of an arm sort of sweep down, when it kind of comes back up, standing there, you do see that there's a stag, like a large gray stag standing in front of you. And you see that, like, its left eye has been sort of slashed, that there's a scar, and the eye is sort of the pupil is split. But you just see kind of Byron kind of concentrating on it, holding his hands out, pulling on the magic, and immediately the stag just jams forward with its antlers and it slashes into the form. And multiple hands come out of it, grabbing at the antlers, trying to pull the stag in, twisting its head and like almost trying to like turn it to snap. One of the spikes on the antlers snaps away as the creature as the beast is able to sort of rip itself free from the clot's grasp. This thing, you see parts of it are falling off, like just like whole limbs, bone just clots and mounds of flesh just sort of falling and hitting with a wet splat into the muck around you all. It's going to go again, and this time, actually, it's going to try and do its zombie flesh and tomb thing. That does not recharge. So it is going to, yeah, it's going to try and slam on top of the deer and on top of you, Grace.
No.
So, that's the wrong dice. There we go. An 11 to hit, Grace.
No.
And an 11 to hit the stag. So no, this thing's a piece of crap.
Oh.
Thank goodness.
It does. It lifts. It hoists itself up, and as it does, you do see that one of those arms just sort of rips away, like it falls back, and from either side where flesh meets pit, hands reach out to try and grab each other to try and stitch itself back in. Some fall away entirely, but the arm sort of sweeps down at you, Grace, and another one comes towards the stag, and both of you were able to just jump back as there is just this wet, grinding, mashing sound as flesh hits flesh, and you hear the snapping of bone, and the water around both of you is just slapped up into the air. Juliette, you hear this thud, and then you almost stumble over yourself. There is gravel underfoot, and you're standing at a large black stone staircase leading up to two very heavy looking doors.
I think he'll climb up.
You're gonna move up towards the
Towards the doors.
you make your way up the steps, and there's only like maybe 6 steps, and it kind of reaches this small flat little platform, and then in front of you, kind of looking up, you see the Blackmoor estate, this sprawling manor just protruding out of the ground like a thorn, and these two heavy brown iron and steel enforced doors and a large black iron door knocker.
Can I see the others from where I am?
Kind of scanning around you, you don't notice anything. You don't see anything.
Okay. He's gonna just try open the door. Like, does it push open? Does it
Doesn't budge.
Okay, he'll knock. I use a large knocker.
Just taking it and kind of banging it against the door. You can hear the resounding sort of boom on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
There doesn't appear to be an answer.
Okay. Can I? I'm wondering if I could try force my way in. That's probably not a good idea. Can I go back down the steps and just have a look around to see if there's any like servant entrance or that kind of thing?
Heading back down the steps, you see that there is a path straight in front of you. There is a path to your left and a path to your right that seems to follow around the perimeter of the house.
What direction did I hear the big boom come from?
That would have been, as you were approaching the steps, you'd have come from the western side of the estate.
Okay.
It came from sort of, as you're looking now, it's right in front of you.
Okay.
How far, you don't know, but it would have come from that direction.
Okay, I'd like to go the opposite way. So, so yeah, I guess left. If it's ahead of me and I've got left or right, I think I'll just.
Yeah, you're gonna go around to the left. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a perception check and hold the roll.
Okay.
And Xander, it's your action.
Okay. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Xander takes kind of one final draw of his cigarette as like the last of the embers kind of flick from it. He kind of flicks it out of his mouth and takes aim again. And as he releases it, he lets the smoke out of his mouth. And I release another arrow. Okay. That's a 22 to hit.
22 hits.
Ooh, better. So that's 9 plus 14 plus 3, 17
Okay.
damage.
Give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh dear. 18 plus 1. 19.
A moment as the cigarette smoke escapes and the arrow looses, there's just the briefest of moments, Xander, when something in you, the taste of the smoke on your tongue, and you feel their lips press against yours. And it's as if the air in your body is pulled out. And your mind is drawn back to one of those last days together. You can find me. You can save me.
Emily.
I'm here, Xander. Find me. Find me, my love. The arrow just hits straight into the back, and again, Grace, you see like a large chunk of this thing just fall into the dirt. It is your action.
Okie dokie. I am going to go again. Ooh, I do not. Maybe not. Maybe they do. That is a 13 to hit.
13 hits.
Oh, deadly. Sorry. I thought that wouldn't. That's 8. That's an 11 damage.
Okay. So, with 11 damage, that is enough to put this creature down. So, what do you do?
Question. If I was to stand on said creature, would I be absorbed into it? Okay. So...
Don't!
Can I see... Is there, like, any main head that I can discern?
If this thing was a body, like, or
Yeah.
like a thing like that, you're standing near one of its legs. The head is much higher. It's made of many, many bodies. That's the one thing that you've gathered from the way this thing has sort of reacted and attacked. Just these mounds of flesh stitched and knotted together. But you don't see a main head as such.
No main head as such. Okay, in terms... I know you said there was still a pillar left of the Archie thing.
Yeah.
How close is that to this mass?
So they're only about 15 feet from it, and you, given its size.
How far can I jump?
Oh, jumping in D&D is like math. I'm just gonna say you can do it.
Okay, Daddy. So,
Don't
Grace-
rules lawyer me. I just don't want to do math.
I'm the same. I'm like, this already. I'm seeing numbers, and I'm like, I'm stressed out. So Grace is going to run at this pillar. It's going to be quite an acrobatic feat. So they're going to run at this pillar, like spring backwards off it to kind of like loop over this thing. And as they do, they're going to stab down with both scimitars and let their momentum
Drag.
carry them around.
So you're going to be able to do all of the damage. I'm not going to But what I want you to do is I want you to roll for
Roll
the kind of the
acro-
acrobatic
Yeah.
flip. Because the second you say it's acrobatic, there's a skill check for that. So this is just to see how cool or how kind of epic this moment actually is.
It'll be epic. Wait. Oh no, sorry. Wrong dice. Ooh. Not as graceful as I would like. That was only like a 12.
Okay. So it's not so much that you're able to you're not going to be able to you can't get the momentum or the height to backflip over this. But what you do manage to do is run at the column, sort of
Bring
run
off
up
it.
and then spring off and land kind of into its torso, like kind of up, not quite reaching its head but there, and just sort of plant the blades in. We have the math equation. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. But landing both scimitars in and just throwing your full weight into it, Grace, you are able to just drop. And when you do, you see this thing like all these humanoid shapes sort of reaching and begging and holding out, like some clasp at you. And as you rip through it, you see most of them no longer seem to have the ability, the energy to hold themselves together. And with that, I have to roll a Constitution saving throw for this thing to stay alive. It failed. I rolled an 11 plus 3, giving me 14, but you did 16 damage. So it collapses, and there is just this mound, this heap of dead bodies in front of the three of you.
Oh, this is I've never faced. This is horrendous. Truly.
Terribly awful, and I'm so
You!
incredibly sorry. And my aim is truly not great.
Grace is going to they're going to look at. Ooh, you can just see in their face. They just want to like lunge at them, but they just kind of like still their rage and be like, "Please be more mindful next time, because this is not the first time one of your spells has backfired. You tangled the horse's legs and catapulted the carriage. You forgot that. The poor horses."
Eilish forgot that. Byron did that.
Byron having war flashbacks.
Yeah, he's just like
Xander, you can clearly hear Grace barking at Byron. And Juliet, as you what did you get on your roll? Sorry.
Oh yes, 23.
As you gauge the paths in front of you, you're like, I could go behind me and back the direction I came originally. I could go down this path, but I heard that horrifying sound come from. I don't want to go there. I'm going to go straight in front of me, which would have been left as you came down the steps.
Mm-hmm.
As you step away from the doors and down these steps, and you, for the faintest of moments, it's just like there's just something runs down your spine, like just this fleeting moment of electricity.
Mm-hmm.
And it courses from just below the base of your skull down through your spine, down into your guts, down into your legs, into your feet, and into the earth, and deep, deep down into the ground. You can feel this swirling void of energy. you are standing directly above an epicenter of these ley lines.
That's what you wanted. Congrats.
Well, does he know this?
In every fiber of his being,
Okay.
he knows this. And you hear the door to the Blackmoor estate open.
He doesn't care about the door. So he's just going to test the boundaries of his magic by trying just some small cantrips, seeing how they're affected while he's standing here. And write down everything he can and just, yep.
Give me an Arcana check.
Uh, 19.
As you reach out, and it is that thing of like you draw the magic from within, you draw from the magic around you, and you feel it. You feel you can feel. It's the only way to describe this feeling, to put it into words to anybody else to understand. It's like standing at the edge of a waterfall. You can feel the rushing energy of the water. You feel it just crashing and grinding and bashing and smoothing out all the stone and then tumbling off the edge and down into the pool below. You feel that is what your magic feels like. As you pull on it, something stronger than your own innate connection to the magic within you rushes up and is pulled in to the point below. And you start to scroll into your journal.
I think for the first time in a very long time, months if not years, she gets smiles.
Grace, Xander, and Byron. As Xander having kind of approached...
yeah, it takes a wee minute to kind of like, after he's like fired the bow, to like look at it, like he's kind of like taking the detail of like the redwood bow that's in his hand after that like interaction, as the bow had belonged to his beloved. And he just takes a moment to try and collect his thoughts and, you know, feel that pain that's now just raw again, as if like a big scab has just been ripped off, before it's like taking a deep breath and walking over to the others and putting the bow back on his back.
You find Byron and Grace sort of not bickering, but definitely Byron being chastised by Grace. You pass through just this rotting heap, and you don't see Baldwin. You can't see Shu yet, but those of you, Byron, those of you with magic, those of you with the ability to cast, even just a cantrip, you do feel this pulse of power, just this sort of, it's the same energy given off by wizards, sorcerers, clerics, warlocks when drawing on magic. That sort of innate energy. It's like, I guess for us above the table, it's like standing next to, standing next to like an electric fence. You know it's electric, and you can almost feel the energy pulsing off of it. All of you with even the slightest of magic can feel that coming further up the path.
Where's she yet?
Nice.
I'm not sure. Last I saw him, he was a bird and chased after some kids.
Oh,
Oh, we should we should try and find him. Since we are very much without our guide now.
Oh, where'd he go?
Oh,
Byron,
Grace is
Byron
just going to
glances.
point at the splotch of blood and bits that aren't part of the mass.
I see. Well,
Yeah.
excellent job, whoever finished this off.
That was Grace. All Grace.
Grace is going to look at Byron and be like, I thank you for damaging it when you did. It was like genuinely, I actually got down to 1 HP.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my god.
No shit. So
Don't tell him that. He'll try harder next time.
yeah, so Grace is going to kind of look at Byron and be like, thank you. Yes.
Happy to oblige.
Just warn in the future. If you're going to do that, just tell me to duck and I will drop.
Absolutely.
You know, you could stand further away from the monster.
I'm sorry, not all of us have ranged weapons.
Maybe just missing some.
Perhaps we should find the rest of our party. and
Yes,
get
we
inside
should
before any more
find
mounds attack
Do
us.
yet. Yes, indeed. Grace is like clenching their teeth and has like just kind of is walking away and they're like, oh, okay. Like you could see them just kind of like trying to find inner peace, whatever the fuck that looks like.
Xander offers her a cigarette. He just kind of holds out the little like metal case.
Grace is gonna like take it and be like, thanks. Just grumble. Like, take the longest, like once it's lit, take the longest drag of their life.
Just burns right down.
Right down to the end, just like flick. And be like,
Oof.
oh, it's oh wow, it's been quite some time since I indulged in these.
It has sort of a mentholy. Like first, it is kind of menthol, but it's more of a frankincense sort of smoke off of
Good
it.
shit.
It's expensive. It's expensive tobacco that Xander smokes.
Grace is going to nod and be like, got great taste.
I know.
I mean, not really because they smoke. But
Ew.
D800 does not endorse smoking.
No, we do not. We do not.
We love a character flavor, but we do not love a cigarette.
No.
But as the three of you sort of befuddled and out of sorts make your way together up through Byron, you sort of you actually kind of, it's a thing of, if you whatever about the smell from the heap, smell from the cigarettes, it is just, the air is very nasty. But the three of you come across Shuyette set on these steps, their cloak and cowl sort of spilling out around them, with just a journal on their lap, and they are lost in concentration.
Do I recognize it?
Yeah, you clearly see. No, they're just writing their notes in
Their
like,
journal, not
their
my journal.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Shiat, where have you been?
Goes back to writing.
Oh well, okay. I guess he's alive. He's safe. Can Grace just take a quick kind of look of where we are?
Whilst not stop, he's holding his journal. He'll stop writing for a second, and he'll point at the open door, not looking up at it, but just point at it.
The four of you find yourselves at the front of the Blackmoor house. The door is open. Not even like ajar, it is open as if it has been pushed open for someone to come in.
I'm not going first.
Nice of you to wait for us, Shwet. I will walk up the steps. and kind of call over my shoulder. Also, I take it we lost that ball game.
No. Well, no. Yes.
What ball game? What is happening? What's
Probably best not to ask.
oh, well? Stuff seems to be happening, and okay, let's just can we get inside, please? I need help. I actually need help right now.
Shriet,
Mm.
come inside.
I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Because of all the weird thing that's happening, we should all go in together. We got separated in the fog, and you may think that I am being too cautious, but I think I'm being the right level of cautious because this whole situation is very bizarre.
If I
Xander
go,
takes out his pocket watch and kind of like taps it to kind of like start a timer for 10 minutes.
so I'm obviously not going to ramble this on for another 10 minutes, but he's not going to move for 10 minutes. And as soon as that timer goes off, he'll like aggressively like just shut the journal and
Damn.
and be like, okay.
As you like it is, I think, like as you're all kind of Grace, Xander, Byron kind of waiting at the top of the steps for Shea to finish, completely unaware, ignorant, oblivious, each of you sort of runs through the gamut of what the hell is this guy's obsession. What is he writing? What is he rattling about in his journals? Again, Xander, there is just sort of a little clicking sound, like a very fast, loud clicking sound that kind of pings against the metal of the case. And Juliette, taking that as a sign, standing up, you join the others just outside the doors. Are you all heading in?
Yep.
Yep.
Don't want to, but okay.
You cross the door, the threshold. Xander, Grace, Byron, and Juliet, one after the other. And you find yourselves standing in a hallway, just this large open hallway with these huge grand staircase right in front of you, leading up into the first, second floors of this house. Spilling out are corridors and passageways, all some leading in some open, others behind closed doors. And as you get the sense of the space in front of you, the sense of this house, the door slams shut behind you. Everything goes black. One of you is a liar. One of you is doomed. One of you will never know peace. One of you will kill Grace Stormfield. And then there is a rapping sound. You hear just this fast but polite knocking, Grace. And your eyes flicker, and you can just see a faint sort of bleary gray light kind of beaming in through some curtains. Excuse me, milady? They've rang for breakfast. And you just hear a voice outside, muffled by a doorway. And Grace, you find yourself lying in a large duck feathered mattress, just these large kind of 4-post bed draped with these plush fabrics. lost in this warmth blanket. You're in the Blackmoor estate. Your body stretches out, and you feel sort of a stiffness, as if that sort of rousing sort of slumber. And again, you hear the lady, and the door opens, and a whoosh of air just cuts through the room, and the smell of rot and death follows it. And that is where we'll leave our session.
Cool.
Hates it.
Yep. Absolutely.
From the track record, it seems like Byron's going to be the one to kill Grace.
Not on purpose.
So that's
I'm gonna be watching you very closely.
I got chills there, that last part. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I will say that I'll get into this at the start of the next episode a little more. I am going to be incorporating a new kind of mechanic into how we play out the rest of our time here in the Blackmoor house. And it will involve drawing room tiles from a board game to help
Cool.
build out your experience in the manner. Now, it won't be the whole stack. I have selected, and I'll have a chat with you folks before we kind of get into it. But that's for 2 weeks' time. A big thank you to Soph, Eilish, Emma, and Grace for this evening, and for their energy, their creativity, and just helping me put together what is one of my favorite stories to tell. I'm Declan, and I've been your dungeon master. And if you like what you've watched, if you want to know more about who we are, you can find us on all social media channels at D8 Dungeon. We have a Discord community with some of the nicest people in the entire internet hanging out there. And if you want to see more of what we do, more of what we produce, we stream here regularly on Twitch. We have a brand new show. It started 2 weeks ago. The next episode is this coming Thursday, called TTRPG Trials, where 4 GMs pick a system each that's been sitting on their shelves or sitting in their computer's library untouched, but have a real hankering to play. And we kicked it off the first episode with our very own Amber from D8 Dungeon telling us all about the game that she's going to be running over the next 2 sessions, Stewpot. So if you want to learn more about that system, if you want to know how it plays out, if you want to know how to run a game or play a game of it, then check that out on Thursday night here at 8 p.m. We have a brand new episode of our award-winning podcast series, Romancing the Dungeon, dropping on Friday, and it is the finale of the current Fia arc. And I have said this to some of the team already, and I've said this to the Romancing the Dungeon group. It's probably my favorite episode of Romancing the Dungeon that I've ever gotten to DM. And I don't say that lightly, but it is. I'm kind of getting slightly emotional thinking about it. It's one of my favorite, and I was truly blessed to get to do that with Louise, to get to play that, run it with them, and I hope people will give it a listen on Friday. It is, and it's dropping on Valentine's Day, so anyway, that's all we have time for this evening. I am going to be this is the last thing I'm going to mention. We are going to be looking to cast some players into Romancing the Dungeon side quests, side stories, running concurrently with the campaign. So these are very much journeys that are taking place at the same time as the campaign in season 3. They are for the story. and it helps us kind of do a bit more world building. And if you want to find out more about those, do make sure you are following us on social media. Do make sure you're on our Discord. That is where we'll be posting more information about that open casting call. I hope you have a fantastic week. I hope you join us here on Thursday evening for TTRPG Trials. And until then, we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Bye.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
folks.
Bye.